How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much. Happy holidays. I appreciate you watching. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. All throughout the year of 2025, as somebody that has movies on the brain, I start thinking about movies that are turning 20 years old, 25 years old. Started thinking about a lot of the movies that came out on the year 2000. In the year 2000, and 2000 was actually a pretty awesome year for movies like Gladiator, High Fidelity, Traffic. There was also American Psycho, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Castaway. But that summer we also got a movie that as of 2025 is celebrating its 25th anniversary, so feeling really old saying that because I still remember seeing this movie at the theater when I was, like a teenager. But yep, I'm talking about 2000's X-Men from Bryan Singer, a director that we don't hear too much these days about because, well, you can look that up, for yourself. There's stuff on the internet about that, but yeah, it's not good. By now, the cast of this movie is legendary: Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Famke Janssen, Anna Paquin. You got Ray Park as Toad, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the guy that played Sabretooth in this. I know he was a wrestler and he passed away, so I feel bad for forgetting his name. But yeah, also, of course, Rebecca Romijn, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Hugh Jackman will forever go down as three of the greatest comic book character castings in movie history. And those characters are done justice from the first movie onward. And as fans, all we do is reap the rewards because these movies only get better. And so with this first one, it really had to kind of stick to landing. It really had to let the audience know, no, these are going to be taken serious. At the very beginning of the film, in the very first scene, the movie grabs you right away by anchoring the world into some kind of a reality that we're familiar with by showing one of our characters, Magneto, in 1940s Poland during World War II in a concentration camp. And so right away you know you're dealing with some heavy themes. Then in the next scene, we see it's the not too distant future, and the movie introduces us slowly to all our main characters. We meet Anna Paquin's Rogue, not the Rogue that we probably thought we were going to get back in the day because she was a bit younger than the Rogue that we were used to. The Wolverine reveal is always really awesome. The little triangle, the little love triangle between Cyclops and Jean Grey and Wolverine is handled, I think, very well in the film. The first scene you get with Magneto, Eric Lencher, and Charles Xavier, that scene always gets you kind of pumped up. It's a nice little prelude. Of course, they put Wolverine at the forefront. The character was very popular, still is, and so they had him be like the main character, which I know is a big problem for a lot of fans because X-Men are a team. We want to see all of them get their shine. When it comes to the performances in the movie, usually you hear a lot about Hugh Jackman or Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart, and deservedly so because they're all great in this, but I don't think Anna Paquin gets enough credit for how good she was in this movie as Rogue because she's awesome in this. She was our eyes into the story. We kind of follow the story through her at first. When she's meeting the X-Men, we're kind of meeting them for the first time as she does, and I think she does a great job. James Marsden was perfect casting for Cyclops. The guy got the short end of the stick, unfortunately, but maybe we'll see more of him in the future since we have a little movie called Avengers Doomsday coming out. Halle Berry was a pretty good Storm, but she couldn't pull off that accent that they tried to do in the first movie, and so they tried to shake it off in the second one and pretend like it didn't happen. But I often wonder how Angela Bassett would have been because when they were developing this back in like the early 90s, late 80s, she was supposed to be our Storm. And yeah, I think that's a big missed opportunity for the character. But, it turned out okay. I love Famke Janssen as Jean Grey. I think she's the perfect Jean Grey. I remember the first time I saw her back in 1995 when I saw GoldenEye on the big screen. Her character of Xenia Onatopp really stuck with me. And then comes the year 2000 and this movie comes out. And from that point on, now I just think of her as Jean Grey because she's so synonymous with these movies. Never really was a fan of the recasting they did later on, but I guess they had to. The movie score in the movie is pretty decent, but I honestly thought back in the day when this came out and I saw the name Michael Kamen, I thought it would have been better, and to this day I kind of wish it had been, and I feel bad saying that because he's not with us anymore. And Michael Kamen has done the score to some of my favorite movies and some of my favorite all-time movie scores, like the score for Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, and he did the score for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So the guy can score the hell out of an action movie. The action in the movie is well shot, it's fun, it's exciting, the story is well paced, the performances are on point, the characters, although they're mutants, are relatable and likable. You have themes of prejudice and hatred. Overall, the dialogue throughout the movie is well written and very well thought out. But if you've seen this movie, you know there's that one scene with Toad and Storm in that confrontation at the end, and the scene could have been so much better and not ruined if it wasn't for that really bad line. And we all know what it is. You know what happens to a Toad when it gets struck by lightning. The same thing that happens to everything else. Yeah, bad fucking line. But you know it is what it is. It's in the movie. Does it ruin the movie? No, it kind of ruins the scene. It is a good introduction movie showing us the world and letting us know what we're going to be in store for in the following films. And although they didn't all live up to the hype, this is one of my favorite film series. I love these characters. And yeah, the animated series will always be the best iteration in my opinion. But these movies are a lot of fun. We all have our favorites. I love X2. I love Days of Future Past, First Class, Logan. There are some duds in there in this series. But this is a movie series that I'm very fond of. And the very first X-Men movie is a movie that I do hold a place in my heart for because that was a special moment back in 2000 when this was first coming out. X-Men, I give it 3 stars. Does anybody else remember that segment on Conan O'Brien? In the year 2000! In the year 2000! I do. Hopefully I don't get sued for that. I don't know. Can you get sued for doing an impression of Conan O'Brien? Whatever. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications on more reviews from me coming out very soon. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your views and your support. I always appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, share, like. It always helps. And I'll see you all on the next classic movie review. Thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays. Take care of each other. Peace out.